And then, yeah, pretty much start with that. Start there, see how it goes. Start with calls. Calls, yeah. I mean, why not, right?
So what kind of calls do y'all taking with you guys? Like,
Yeah.
you know you have to have.
Yeah, what's your go-to? Woodhaven mouth calls, box calls, yeah. Gotta have Woodhaven. What about you? What do you think?
I only drink natural house
Alright, so what's your go-to?
For calls?
Yeah.
One of everything. I really don't care.
On everything? There's no like specific one that's your favorite.
I mean, I feel like anybody who can run a mouth call does, and that's just second nature to them at that point in their career. But outside of that, no. I've called in turkeys with
All of the above.
all of them. I'm pretty sure, other than your wing bone
Yeah, I think
deal.
I'm not so sure about that. That's not my go-to, that's for sure. I think my go-to personally for calls, because I'm not a fan of mouth calls, is probably a box call. I think it's just the easiest one to run.
Sometimes. What's your favorite mouth call? My favorite mouth call? I'm not brand specific. I don't care. As long as it fits in my mouth. They make some that are, I don't know if they're Woodhaven or what, they're like wider than the mouth of a Pringle can or something.
Yeah. I just picked up a quick wood mouth call to try to learn how to run one of those. And, yeah.
But I usually like at least a double breed with a really aggressive cut pattern. Again, I really don't care. I like a good rasp.
Peter Creek Steak is pretty good. That last one we got from him last year.
Oh yeah, I use that pretty raw the last couple of years.
So, what's your favorite tactics? I mean, are you guys more of like a sit down, call and wait, or you guys prefer to just go right at it?
Depends on the situation.
You always gotta try. Like, if I walk into the bird job, I'm trying to get with people before I make my final decision.
I used to, just that, and I feel like I screwed around more birds by doing that. Now, I'm not saying I won't try to get within 100 yards of them, because maybe I do that particular situation, but usually, I don't know, this because I've been hunting turkeys for 15 years and kind of slowed way down.
If you're getting older.
Maybe, because I'm getting old. But now I just feel like if you call and they respond immediately, just give it a second. You call again and see if he answers again, and if he does, is he closer? You know? I wouldn't just jump the gun on the first guy today. 15 years ago, I'd have ran right at him.
So just sit back, see how fired up they are. And then
Right, because they can cover a lot of ground really fast.
Yeah, we've seen that before.
Yeah, you got that one there 2 years ago, your first long beard. We
Yeah,
called
first longer.
all the way across that valley. I mean, that was probably a mile.
He came a long
Close
way.
to
He was
it.
bigger.
Yeah.
Got shot.
Shot in the face.
I like to get those. That way, I know if you're coming or I'm going for the middle of the field, somewhere in the field.
I like that at
Down
least.
mountain.
I like to at least be able to watch it.
Yeah. No,
So I
the
know
first
it's-
light hunt, I think every turkey hunter's probably just wung it before, not knowing where they're roosted, and just got out there. We do that a lot on public land, you know, hunt places that we've hunted for years, and we just have a general idea that they're there. Go in there and wait for the first gobble, and then that 100-yard thing, and you have the blanket of darkness. Or just,
Close as much ground as you can.
I mean, running a gun in mid-morning too, we're only like noon in New York, but you know, after that first light sit, it's 8 o'clock or whatever, and everything kind of dies off quick. You gotta run and get gas, or coffee, whatever you're doing, and then just start beating the woods.
Putting the miles on whether it's walking or driving. Or,
Right, right.
I think
Honestly,
that's-
probably over the years, we've killed way more turkeys in that last hour, that 11 o'clock hour, than any other hour.
I agree with that. Yeah.
That's historically been
I think the reason we're so successful too, a lot of times is that not only we scout a month before season starts, but then because we get on until noon, we're scouting every day after, trying
Right.
to find more
Yeah.
birds.
Yep, right. Yep. We shut it down, get our pictures or whatever, if there's any success that day, and grab a bite, and then we're on the road. The last 3 hours or so, probably until dark.
Yeah.
And hopefully put one on a branch and be under them the following morning.
Right. Putting a lot of scouting
Yeah.
down
A lot of scouting.
What do you guys do if you don't find a bird to roost?
That's when you start flipping coins.
Yeah.
And,
Going
all right,
back,
well,
going through history. That's what I got.
that's right. Get out the photo album. Where did we kill the most turkeys?
Where has there always been birds? Where we've always seen birds? Like your old go-tos. That's probably the
Which
best.
is nothing more than a fall back on old scouting.
Yeah.
You have to scout. You really have. I mean, I'm not saying that we've never walked into a brand new piece of public land that we've never been in before and struck and gobbled or killed it. We have. But
It's usually not first thing.
all the state land within like 100 miles of here, we've been at some point,
Not more than
for sure.
Some a lot more than others. And that's how we learn a lot too, for other seasons, bow seasons, stuff like that. It's just walk around, you be six turkey scout there, Which is pretty cool.
you guys go to go.
Any more in the last handful of years? Go to gun? It's definitely that beach for Carlson's. That's I don't even think.
Agreed. I've never shot a turkey with a 20 gauge. I have seen my nephew shoot turkeys with 20 gauge. But I don't know. I was in that whole era before the smaller shotguns started being used for turkeys. Like as much as they are now. Back then it was, oh no, if you're going to turkey hunt, you got to shoot them with a 12 gauge, and it's got to be the biggest shot they make.
It's the only way you're gonna get
Yeah.
35, 40 yards.
Right, yeah. That's not a lie. That's how it was. And that was with the whammy super deluxe turkey choke, too.
No, that's up.
I do like to carry my 10 gauge now just in case.
You really reach out there.
I mean, we're always hunting with each other whether we have tags or not, So if you tag out, you're filming or you're calling or you're just there to be a part of it, So yeah. We're opportunity hunters. As soon as that shot it's an opportunity, it's being taken. Whether it's a success story or not, that's another story. So that's why I carry the 10 gauge, because I'm
way more confident.
yeah, if need be, And I'm also a firm believer in not educating turkeys. I mean, it happens. It definitely happens. All you can do is laugh it off. The 10 gauge, if they make it to 20 yards or under, then they have. And I also like to believe that I can let it keep coming and coming.
Well, if not, if you shoot with a 20 gauge,
If you have to pick up the pickup shot, and it has to be 50, 60 yards, that 10 gauge is bigger. What's that? A couple years ago, yeah, when I ran cleanup on Dan, brought that galver down out of the air. Yep. That was not the plan. Come to find out, Dan lost some backbeat on his shotgun. That's why he shot so well. I guess that's why I'm hunting.
Never really planned for the unexpected.
Right.
You go.
What are you guys' thoughts on overcalling turkeys?
Yes, well, I'm guy for this one.
We're all guilty of it. I am.
Overcalling turkeys.
My opinion, as long as it's natural.
That could be a problem.
Yeah, no, that's a problem.
I mean,
I feel like I feel like that's the worst time to overcall turkeys is when they're standing there gobbling their heads off. Like if you think they're there and they're not answering you, I've seen it take half an hour before, 20 minutes before they finally decided to gobble one time, But if they're sitting there gobbling, and you're just calling to them and they ain't making no sound, I feel like sometimes it's better just to back off.
They say over calling a lot. I was watching bone collector videos. I was there. Was that Michael Lyle? He talks a lot too.
Oh yeah.
Well, sometimes,
I'm not saying it doesn't work.
Yeah,
It's definitely work. You know,
definitely.
go out there and just call your brains out, and they just come gobbling right out of string to you. It's happening.
What about
there.
that amount of-
they're just standing out there. Just
If they're just standing there holding their ground, a lot of times it's best to shut up. And just sometimes that's the best call you can make. It's and then when they start gobbling on their own and getting all worked up looking for you, then maybe give them something soft to work with.
getting a little curious in what's going on. Yeah. What about what do you guys feel about like, specific handling? Is there anything you won't use or don't like to use?
Personally, I shoot out of my 12 gauge on mine. Carlson's long rear XR.
Yeah. I mean, that makes it kind of easy with guessing game of what works best, how you're done.
The pattern was designed to show
For the specific shot. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's pretty
I don't know, since we started shooting the 10 gauge and Carlson's choker, I'm Grand Slams who
It's only because I've never been able to find the XRs for the thing.
right, yeah.
I do think that people in general should probably pattern their guns. Know what the best performing thing is. You know?
Try different
But
stuff.
financially, a lot of times that can be pretty difficult.
What we do with our youth every year.
Yeah, but it works out because everybody might shoot something different in your little buddy plan, so you guys can each try each one.
We'll try them on different shell.
Right.
Different
So
combinations.
you know you're not spending $300 to find out which one you're gonna stick with.
Especially shooting someone who shoots like TSS. I get
Yeah, I'm not getting into that.
Maybe if I was rich.
I mean, 10 gauge will already shoot 65, 70, so.
Right. Yeah. And I don't need that much money. What are you guys' thoughts on reefing turkeys? That's pretty.
Reefing turkeys
Yeah.
is kind of new to us.
It's new to us, but it's also, I feel like, a big controversial topic for a lot of turkey hunters.
Is it?
I think so.
I've never come at any gun. I've never had
I'm
anybody.
pretty
at some-
sure they just banned reaping turkeys in Tennessee like last season, wasn't it?
I'm not sure. But I know a lot of people say that it's an unfair advantage for the animals, and then other people are like, oh, like, you've obviously done it. I haven't, but
Yeah, I think I was the first one in our little group to
Yeah.
reap up there.
yeah, I'm trying not
And I don't know if I was doing it 100% right. I mean, it worked.
to.
You know,
Yeah, I was gonna say if it worked, I mean, it's
Right.
good enough.
but like I don't know that one that I reaped with Dan last year opening day there. He came a lot faster than the one that I shot. And I don't know if it was something we did different or if it was just the bird and its personality. You know.
I know when we reaped.
I was there for that.
Water
Yeah,
totally
we
different.
did.
Rush.
I was just kind of
We
in the
were higher
background.
special.
Yeah.
I think that's great. I really do. It's something new and different. You know.
I-
Around here where we hunt, there's so much competition, especially with calling. Sometimes birds are just 100% just shut down. You cannot call to them. At that point, you know, if you're hunting state land that borders the private field where this bird's strutting all morning, you can't get near it. So the private properties that we can hunt, the open areas that we can hunt, the reefing declares, it's phenomenal. It's awesome. And I'll do it every chance I get. It's a rush like nothing I've ever experienced, that's for sure.
Yeah, I've seen it, but I haven't actually, been the guy behind the decoy. So I don't know, exactly what it's like.
And if I don't know, I feel like people, since Tennessee just outlawed it, maybe. Could be, I don't know. That's people obviously have a problem with safety issues. That's just, to me, there's no excuse for it. It's like wearing blaze orange. To me, that should be more of a controversial topic. I don't totally disagree with it to an extent, but I've never seen a deer wearing camouflage.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying the deer don't camouflage in the woods because they definitely blend in fairly well. Everybody knows that, but if somebody wearing full camouflage gets shot, I don't know. That just, to me, there's no excuse.
I I mean,
There's no excuse. I've never seen an animal wearing real tree camouflage or whatever brand. You know?
or I've never seen deer walking on two legs either.
This is true.
You know what I mean? But I mean, you as a person, especially a hunter, should know what you're shooting.
Right.
It's just common sense and safety. You know
Right.
what I mean?
Yep.
You should know exactly what you're shooting. And if you can't tell the difference between a person and deer, you probably shouldn't.
Or a turkey.
Or a
Assuming
turkey.
That might be the problem.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, I feel like that just there's no excuse for that.
Sometimes it's stay on the
Sure.
It'd be a different challenge if there's different environment.
Well, we're hoping to do a little bit out of state turkey on this year. Kind of start dabbling into that.
We can check out Pennsylvania.
We'll get that Grand Slam at 65.
That's right.
No, you would get
Yeah. Well, it's not going to be till I retire. I don't have time.
No,
Oh, yeah.
me? What you guys' feelings on shooting jaybirds? I mean, we've all done it.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
I don't want to say I aim for it, but it's not hard. It's the same thing.
yeah, I mean, that's kind of where I'm at most of the time. You know? We only usually get to hunt weekends because we're hunting all week, so. I mean, well, working all weekend. So, I mean, I don't like to pass up too many opportunities.
Right.
Kind of take what I can get and kind of opportunity hunts. Just 'cause you never know when the next one's going to come out.
That's right. Yeah, I'm 100% on board with that. Myself, I try not to shoot jakes anymore. I did shoot one last year. But again, when the opportunity arises, I've always been a meat hunter and always will be.
We hungry, you know?
Right. I try, early in the season, I'll usually pass jakes at this point in my life. It never used to be that way. Coming up, they came in gobbling, boy. I was gonna let them have it.
Yeah, we actually passed some jakes last year. I ended up killing longer at the same hunt, so that's just that hunt.
Right.
I didn't give them none of their after that. So just kind of the way it does.
I don't put anybody down for shooting. If it's legal, it's cool with me.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, to each their own.
For sure.
Yes, keep going. So I'll get it
What are your thoughts on fall hunting for turkeys?
And if it's legal, then go for it.
Yeah, but you personally, you like fall hunting?
I did when I was a kid. Yep, but I don't believe we have the turkey numbers of what they once were here, especially with the fishers now. I mean, we're more central New York here, and it's more really farmland country. Fishers are they're supposed to be a wilderness animal. They do not belong here, and they're eradicating all of our small game.
Sure.
They need to be driven back to the Adirondacks, Catskills, where they belong.
Right. Out of here. I don't know. I don't
So-
feel like.
So I guess in my opinion, it's just the turkeys already have a hard enough way to go. Between the coyotes, now we're getting more bobcats here. Fisher are at this point a nuisance, and it needs to be wide open, in my opinion. For Fisher.
They are.
So the turkeys, I think, have it hard enough, and they don't need it in the fall. But it is legal. You are allowed one bird, a hen or a gobbler. It doesn't matter. So again, to each their own.
Right.
That's
For sure.
And especially if it's a kid. If it's a kid out there trying to kill his first turkey or her first turkey, then by all means.
Get it done.
You know,
Good luck. Have fun.
right.
For sure. I feel like I've never fall turkey hunted much here in New York, but the little bit I have done, I feel like it is nowhere near the same amount of excitement as it is in the spring.
No, I've never got the same thrill, for sure. One thing I do believe they should change in New York is that the way the law reads, you can shoot a bearded hen in the spring, and I don't know if that makes them so they're not fertile or whatever, but having a beard. Either way, I don't think people should be allowed to shoot a hen at this point. Period, regardless of the beard. And I can understand when maybe a novice hunter would get confused and see the beard.
Yeah.
But just take one look at a tom's head and one look at a hen's head, and there's no size difference, color. I mean, even Jake's, their head come in there and they're just as red as that flower pot behind your head. You know?
I agree.
Or the white bulb white, and you can't mistake that for anything else.
Yeah. I feel like the hound should definitely off the table, you know what I mean?
Right. As much as we might complain and bitch about them in the spring.
Yeah, but you know,
All that Gower was all hemmed up, he wouldn't work. Yeah.
try to get them on.
Right.
See how that goes.
So when we're taking out use, what are your guys' key points you're looking for? Get the most success.
Number one before you even get started is firearm safety.
Yeah, just seeing how well they handle the gun. And
Obviously, our kids are pretty familiar with what's going on. You know, we've worked with them quite a bit. When I take out my nephews, you know, I'm not with them 100% of the time, so I don't know how much time they've had. You know? And that's most of it. And you just have to preach it to them almost, in my opinion.
oh yeah, you can never be too safe.
Right.
Especially with someone who doesn't have as much experience as us.
Past that, I want them to be comfortable. I don't want them to get burned out with it. They get burned out and they probably won't want to go again. With that being said, I want them to work for it. And that's why we strictly hunt public land with youths. We don't take them to a private hunting hole. I've never done that. I've always taken youths to, I mean, we've done that, not just, you know, wild west in it. You know, I mean, we've scouted them and stuff, and we know that there's probably going to be birds there, but always on public land. And then the kid also usually feels like they're higher up on the totem pole, being able to kill a public land turkey. Not to say that some private land hunts aren't as difficult or even more, because I've definitely been on those too. But you get what I'm saying. Just having that type of confidence and giving you confidence gives me a lot of confidence.
Is there any key elements you're looking for when you're scouting a new area? Other than turkeys being there?
Yeah, I mean, they're pretty plentiful, really. I mean, you see them here and there. It's just a matter of where they want to be, where the food is at that point in time.
I think another big,
Oh yeah.
I think another big thing for scouting too is just like the accessibility. Like obviously, you know, you don't have birds on where you can hunt. Then it doesn't really do you good. Try to keep scout around areas where you can hunt, state land, stuff like that. Pretty much what we do. Yeah.
Do a lot of work. Google Maps or Onyx.
Yeah.
Do a lot of time put in those.
Yep. Mostly, I think it's just a lot of hours scouting. Like you said, the most successful way to be most successful. Is just time scouting.
Beat the roads and walk the woods. Right? I mean, literally just a planning game.
Just putting time in.
So, what do you like to do if you know the birds are in the area? You know that they're there somewhere, and you can get to a spot where you can throw sound and noise for a long distance. You know that they're there. What do? They're not talking. They're not gobbling. Can't nothing. But you know that they're there. In your heart, you know them birds are there somewhere. What would you do? Do you get up when you walk out, or do you sit down and just
I mean,
burn the morning up?
Definitely sit down and hang out for a while.
I don't know. We've been
Depends on how much sign you got.
No, yeah, but I mean, I'm talking like our normal day. You know, you got a dozen spots within 10 miles of you, all different little spots you can get into. where there's other birds that we've already scouted. And yeah, you're a half a mile deep, 3/4 of a mile deep into this piece of public land, knowing turkeys are there. And say it's 9 o'clock. What do? You gonna sit down and burn your next 3 hours there, or are you gonna beat feet out of there, hit the truck, and try another spot? I mean, we've all been on those hunts where we've done that. We've scratched it, hauled ass back to the truck, get to another spot. You're not there for 5 minutes, and you got tagged up. So,
I don't know. That's
what do you do? I mean,
yeah, you kind of flip a coin there, but I don't know. I think a lot of time I'd much rather just run the roads, you know. Like,
you gotta run the road.
but
You probably had more success doing that versus sitting down and just spitting out a few calls here and there, nap it out.
yeah, but, I mean, we've been on hunts together where you're like, oh, it's just hang out and chill. You know, and I'm like, no, like we need to move. Like there's no birds here, and then sat there for a half hour and had one shot. So I've seen it work either way. You know what I mean? So it's kind of, you know, if you know they're there, yeah. If you know they're there, you just think they're being stubborn, and kind of tired. Pull an old man move, pull an old guy move. You just sit down and be patient. Like the old timers just, you know, they sit in one spot all day until they kill the turkey.
I mean, you can like fact check me or whatever, Google it if you want, but I'm pretty sure we didn't have turkeys here until 1980s. And if you talk to any of those guys that started hunting them as soon as it was legal, that is like how they hunted.
Yeah.
They went out, they sat down in the woods with a box car or whatever, their shotgun, and just, that was it. That was the only spot they sat.
Yeah,
They sat right there till noon or whatever. And
just try to wait it out. Yeah, kind of deer.
I guess that's the way a lot of deer hunt, just have their one stand or whatever.
Just sit there until something happens.
You know, we're averaging 10 miles a day.
But I mean, like, you know, I don't know. I don't really want to bash anybody for how they enjoy their time.
For sure. For sure.
You know what I mean? Like, we obviously have our own style where we like, you know,
It's the
put a lot
pursuit
of
of
miles on it.
it.
Yeah, get right after it. You know,
And
most of the time.
I think that's what gives me the biggest thrill is the actual pursuit of it.
Yeah.
And that's why I don't care if it is a little cigar butt Jake Beard or if it's a 10-inch swinging hammer. I really don't care.
It's just exciting and we all love to just be out there.
Right.
Just be after it.
Right. Yeah.
Getting it done. What are your thoughts, Ryan? Would you rather hunt private or public?
I'm not really good.
I'm with
Over
Ryan.
the birds.
I'm with Ryan.
I like it. That's the style we're going with. Wherever there's
If I get
a
invited to a prime piece of private or something with a buddy or something, you have to go out there. The minute those birds lock up, they get hung up or whatever, I say, wait.
just get
Go back and talk to whatever, birds that hunger.
Birds and power.
man, don't wish that we had those.
Right. Yep.
I can't wait for working days. How much time you got left? A couple months?
Me, February.
Yeah. May 1st. Well, we got youth before that. I don't think we got the nephew to take out before that and
We
April.
have at least one youth to take. With that, I get shredded over
And the first one of the year is the best.
that.
The first turkey.
Full body convulsions. Especially if you're anywhere near them when they're in the roost and that first gobble, the very first one you get to hear all year. Ugh.
Makes you want to sink right into a rat hole or something. Fold right up like, oh my god, they're over. You know, that guy.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, that one. Wow.
It is wild.
So what else you got, Ryan?
They take my spot.
I'm thinking.
4 questions.
You know what? I just thought of one more thing that I absolutely hate going for.
What's that?
One of those pads for your hind end.
Oh, that's
Yeah. Oh man.
I don't know how many times I didn't have one set up on a maple root or something.
Oh yeah.
Didn't you start carrying one of those gobbler chairs?
Yeah, for a short stint, but I felt too exposed.
What about
It's just something more to carry, and I hate carrying extra stuff.
what about the best way to keep the blackflies away?
There's
Oh my goodness. Boy, have I got some remedies.
Yeah, some big spotted ears.
Yeah, that. I was told that was the thing. Smear a little under your hat brim, behind the ears. You'll be all good. No black flies for you.
Yeah.
Boy, I fucking suffered.
What was the result?
They get
of
there, and then they're stuck in it. It doesn't shut them off at all.
that? Oh, man. That is awesome.
Terrible.
We
Trying to
gotta-
dry your sheets. I mean, that's all you get to smell is that flower dryer sheet smell, you know?
Fabric softener kind of smell.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm
That
so
does
glad.
not work either.
So glad I owned fire.
Your thoughts on Thermacell?
Huh?
Your thoughts on Thermacells?
Yeah, but they don't work for black flies. Try.
I have one.
Keep the skeeters out here,
I have one. That's an odd one, so I carried it around with it. Right now,
but.
I've seen, I can mention names, but I've seen some people go as far as starting a little fire between your legs to try to smoke them out before.
yeah. Yeah. That was that year they were so thick that when you tried to swat them with your hat, you scooped the whole hat full, set them right on your scalp.
Smash your back down.
Yeah. No good.
So, what are you guys
So,
looking forward to this year?
What are we looking for?
as far as, I'm looking forward to killing stuff. Any goals? Not really. I mean,
Tag out.
yeah, tag out. If I can kill a turkey, it's, as good as I did last year, as nice one as I did last year.
I tried. Failed miserably. Good luck.
Hope it helps.
We got a lot of new content on your channels.
Yep. A handful of videos from last year.
If you guys like these podcasts down video, let us know.
Yeah, for sure.
Do our best to get you guys some. But on that, hit the subscribe button for us. We definitely appreciate it. And good luck to you guys this week.
Thanks for watching.